no way possible that we are in Q4. And what's even more wild is that we are approaching the end of the year. I'm talking about Thanksgiving, Christmas, and then New Year's. Where has time gone? And I don't know about y'all, but for me, it's been an absolutely crazy, wild year so far. I mean, for starters, I entered my Saturn return and I turned 29. And we're going to get into all that later. But just know, life has been lifing and they're taking the score. I'm at 0 right now, okay? And life is at like a 10 because that's how wild things have been. Anyway, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to Becoming Cleo. I am so excited that you are here. Today, we are going to be talking about the fact that it is almost the end of the year and it is time to lock in. This is the great lock-in, okay? So buckle up, get in your seat, and let's get right to it. I know for me personally, I don't want to look back this time next year and have the same goals and be wanting the same things and be having the same desires. Not because they didn't happen yet, but because I haven't taken any action to even put those things into motion. That is one of my biggest fears, is to look back and everything is the same because I didn't put forth the effort. It's Q4, it's time to really lock in and prioritize our goals. I don't know about you guys, but for me, the month of September always feels like a rebirth. It feels like a new season. It feels like new beginnings. And it doesn't so much as feel that way anymore now that I live in California and we have approached our local summer where it's not getting cool anytime soon. But as a girl who used to live in the DMV and who's from Maryland, fall for me was especially when like the leaves started to change a little bit, the air started to feel a little bit more brisk, and it just felt like something good was going to happen. Now, even though I'm going to be still in summertime during my great lock-in, that doesn't mean that I won't be present. The great lock-in is honestly something that I've seen on TikTok about people just locking in on their goals because it's the end of the year and because it's Q4. But honestly, I think of this as one of the best promises you can make for yourself, and that is a promise to do the things that you say you're going to do, to follow through on them, and to actually like put your manifestations in motion. It's like one of the biggest promises that you can give yourself. And I feel like when you honor those promises and commitments to yourself, that's when you start to build even more and more confidence. It's when you start to feel good about yourself, about your ideas, about the things that you're trying to put into motion. It's just literally as simple as keeping your promises to yourself, doing what you say you're going to do, locking in and following through. You literally have to see your ideas through. There's no time like the present. Now for me and this great lock-in, I don't know if it has any type of criteria or anything like that, but I've decided the simplest way and the best way for me to actually lock in and to follow through on my promises to myself is to focus on 3 different areas in my life that I want to level up in. The first one is going to be wellness, the second one is going to be spiritual, and the third is going to be financial. So let's get into this wellness era. The first thing that I'm going to be doing is entering into my, actually I've already officially entered into it. I am in my we got food at home era. The past few months I have been eating out like an insane amount. Almost to the point where, I don't know if y'all can relate, but it's like when you eat out so much that you literally went through all the foods that you can have. Like I had the Italian, I had Indian food, I had Chinese food, I had African food. I literally had almost every type of food to the point where when it was time for me to eat out again, I just didn't know what I wanted because I feel like I had everything. And you have to sit down and talk to yourself and be like, what is going on? So we are officially in our we got food at home era, okay? And that looks like cooking as much as possible, literally making breakfast at home, making lunch at home, making dinner at home, at least Monday through Friday. Let's say I do decide to eat out on a Wednesday, I'm going to supplement that by eating at home on a Saturday. So it's only going to be 1 or 2 times a week because 1, I'm trying to save money, but 2, I'm trying to be the healthiest version of myself possible. And what better way to do that than to prepare your own food and know what goes in it. And while we're in the era of we got food at home, we are also in the era of walking, doing Pilates and weightlifting. So I am someone that works out often. Like, I walk pretty much every day, and it helps that I have a dog that makes it a lot easier when it comes to walking. I strive between like 8 to 12k steps a day, but it really just depends on like what I have going on that day. But when it comes to weightlifting and going to the gym, that's just where I struggle to be consistent for two different reasons, at least at my gym in particular. Number one, the parking is bad. If the parking sucks, I'm more likely to go home. I hate driving around looking for parking. Number two is that a lot of people hog the machines at my gym to the point where I have to wait for a very long time for people to finish, and I'm just not that patient. But the real key for me has been Pilates. So I joined a studio and they don't have the best parking. It's only street parking. But the compromise is that the studio is 10 minutes away. It's not that expensive. I'm able to do 3 classes a week without breaking the bank. And what really is like the icing on the cake is that if you don't cancel 4 hours before class starts, they charge you. If you don't show up and you miss a class without advance notice, they charge you. The idea of getting charged because I don't show up or because I don't cancel in time irks my soul to the point where I just show up and I'm on time because I don't want to waste my money. The package that I have is already kind of expensive that it just doesn't seem like it's worth it to not actually use it. So I've been going to Pilates 3 days a week. I've been finding my street parking and just leaving 30 minutes early just to give myself enough time to make sure that I can find a spot and actually like parallel in that. The combination of those 3 things together has really been helping me to stay on and like be consistent within my wellness journey. The second thing I'm focusing on is the spiritual aspect of my life. I feel like spiritually I have not been doing what I'm supposed to be doing. A lot has happened in these past few months. I'll have to catch you guys up on that in a later video. But spiritually, I feel blocked and I feel very disconnected from myself. And I'm trying to just like get back on track. I'm trying to reset my nervous system, and I'm really trying to get into a place where I believe that things are possible for me, and also just get into a place where I feel like my manifestations can actually come into fruition, because right now I am not in that space whatsoever. Because truly, I feel like I'm in a freeze state right now. Because you know there's like fight, flight, or freeze, or fawn, and I'm definitely the type that freezes and I get stuck and I just don't know how to move forward. Kind of like this analysis paralysis situation. So the one thing that kind of like made me realize that I was stuck in that state is I went to this mixer and there was a room where you could pull an affirmation card, and my card said magic happens when you most expect it. And then to me, it made me realize that I have not been expecting magic to happen. And so with that affirmation card came this like book, and it talked about how the magic can happen for you. And I'll read part of that for you guys right now. The essential meaning of the card was that I am a powerful, sacred creator. The potential to call, and I have the potential to call my dreams into reality. The awakening of forgotten energies, the subtle shifts of your physical world as your mind changes. The mysterious will of your source, the divine of your subconscious mind, finding and following the signs. And the part that says a powerful sacred creator really stood out to me, because we also had to write our own I am affirmation on the mirror. I really wrote, I am a creative force. And it all just felt really aligned in that moment, and it reminded me that magic can happen for me. I just need to continue to expect that it will. So I am going to get back onto my spiritualness that I do, like my praying, my meditation, my journaling, my EFT tapping, literally whatever it is that I need to do to kind of get back in that feeling of knowing magic can happen for me is what I'm going to do. And last but not least, I'm not going to stay on this topic for too long because I am no expert in this whatsoever. Me and numbers have never gotten along, but I am trying to fix and just like enhance my finances. I have a lot of things coming up in my life within the next few months, next few years. We'll get into that later. And there are things that I need to pay for, things I need to pay off, and things that I need to have money for. So I need to figure out some kind of savings plan. I need to maximize my checks. I just need to get into this like financial era and become a numbers girl. Maybe make up with numbers so I can like really lock in on getting my finances together. So that's all I'm going to say about that, because I really don't have too much to say, because I don't know what I'm going to do. I just know that I'm going to figure it out because I'm very good at figuring things out. I chose to focus on these 3 areas because I feel like these are the 3 areas that are most important to me. And then also just focusing on 3 things makes it a lot more like sustainable for me to actually be a part of this great lock-in. And as for you, let's talk about why you should participate in the great lock-in. Because number 1, you want to honor the promises that you made to yourself. I'm sure there are so many things that you have been wanting to do. Maybe you're like me and you forgot that magic can happen when you most expect it. But honoring your promises to yourself is one way to really show yourself that self-love. Number 2, you should participate in the great lock-in because what do you have to lose? Honestly, like putting yourself out there, going after what you say you're going to go after. I don't feel like anything bad has ever come from that, and putting yourself out there, though scary, has always been rewarding, and you always see your manifestations come back tenfold when you decide to bet on yourself and when you decide to honor your promises to yourself. And the 3rd reason that you should participate in the great lock-in is because you want to feel inspired to start now, to lock in now and not wait until the new year. I feel like sometimes, at least I'm guilty of this, people will like know that New Year's coming up and want to have these like New Year's resolutions, and it's like December and you're trying to like cram all these things in. But I feel like, why start now? Why wait for a new year? Why wait for like the perfect moment? Feel empowered to do it now because this is the moment and this is a reality that we're currently in. You don't need a new year to lock in or to start over or to go after the things that you really want to do, or a new year to honor the promises to yourself when you can start right now. If you're like me and you were trying to figure out how to decide what you should focus on for the great lock-in, I'm going to tell you to ask yourself these 3 questions because this is what I asked myself. What area of your life do you feel like you could be a little bit more intentional in? I feel like for that one, things are definitely going to come to mind because I feel like there's areas where we think about all the time, like, oh, I could be working out more. Oh, I could be eating healthier. This one hopefully will be kind of just like an aha moment for you. But if not, maybe just journal about it until something comes up for you. Number 2, this is a really good one. Is there something that you have been putting off or avoiding? I know for me, the spiritual aspect and the finance aspect are always 2 things, at least financial. It's always something that I'm going to be avoiding because I do not like talking about numbers and I do not like math, and both of those things are intimidating to me. So that was natural for me to be like, I need to focus on the financial aspect because that's something that I have always been avoiding. Think about that thing that you've been saying, like, I'll start on that later, I'll start on that next week, I'll start on that tomorrow, and it's been so many tomorrows since then. And the last question for what you should focus on is, what is sustainable for you to lock in on long term? I know for me, with working out and being in my wellness era and the spiritual aspect are things that I can sustain for these next 4 months. I know there are absolutely things that I am capable of working on, that I'm excited to work on, and things that I feel like won't be too challenging in the sense where I'm trying to like figure things out. So ask yourself those 3 questions and let me know in the comments what areas you're going to be focusing on for the great lock-in, and also let me know if you decided to participate in the great lock-in because I want to hear all about it from y'all as well. One more thing I want to say is that there is nothing like public accountability. And what I mean by that is me posting this video for people to see and reference later on is absolutely a version of public accountability where they can look back and be like, so how's your great lock-in era doing? I always tell my friends, if there's something you want to do but you don't want to be held accountable on it yet, don't tell anybody. But if you want to be held accountable on said thing, tell the people that you trust, the people closest to you, so they can hold you accountable and follow up. So me posting this video as a documentation, as a reference point, is absolutely public accountability. And you commenting below in the comments for what aspects you're focusing on and if you're participating in the great lock-in is also public accountability as well. I say all that to say, welcome to the great lock-in. I am so excited that you guys are here with me during this journey. And I'm so excited for y'all to be joining this journey as well. So until then, be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video.